The most challenging thing about my environment, there's so many things, man. I think the most challenging part of my environment, honestly, is being able to articulate your emotions and articulate the things that you go through on a day-to-day basis. I think a lot of times people go through the same things, a lot of times, but oftentimes than others, depending on where you live, where you come from, you don't have the space to be able to express yourself, or you're not taught to express yourself in a manner that's productive. And it looks different ways, different times. A lot of times you have to understand that we're interacting with human beings. So a lot of times I might have a group of students, they missed out on gym, they got a bad grade. So I'm always filling out the room and seeing where the students are that particular day. But it's constant breakthroughs. That's what facilitating is. It's just constant breakthroughs, getting to the root of why it is that you feel this way, why it is that you may act this way, behave this way, etc. There's not a space provided, a safe space provided for someone to be able to articulate what it is that they're going through. A lot of times, and this is universal, a lot of times anger is most accepted as as a way to express yourself. It's the most appropriate while still most appro it's seen as the most appropriate while being able to mask what it is you really feel. You're angry, you're seen as a tough guy, you're seen as this macho guy, you're able to articulate and express yourself, you're kind of seen as soft, you know, and a lot and from where I'm from, being seen as soft, you're prey. It takes a stronger mind to be able to express your true deepest fears and thoughts than it does to mask them. And you do more damage because you start to ruin relationships in school, in life, in business, because time doesn't stop for anybody. So this young man who's unable to express himself, he's only getting older. And so that teacher that he's going back and forth with can easily become that police officer in the street that he's arguing with, or easily become his manager when he gets a job and he goes out into the real world. So if we're able to grab these guys while young and get them to slow down, pace themselves, and come to some sort of peace within themselves, we're doing a great thing. Yes, absolutely. So Cooper was my dean at the school. I went to Eagle Academy, high school. The first encounter, I don't recall, but I know I was in trouble for something. You know, I was always in trouble, and he was always checking me. And I think one time, what the conversation that really connected us is when he asked me, what makes you what do you want to be in life? And I told him I was just like happy. That was my answer to him, just like happy. He was like, yo, this kid is wise. This kid is, you know. And then he started hanging. He started bringing me around him and his homies, and helped me, teaching me how to facilitate a lot of these meetings, and just mentoring me ever since. Yeah, Coop's the best, man. Out of this room, I probably known Cooper the longest. Yeah, I'm 23 now. I met Cooper when I was 12, so yeah. These are people. These are young men's future. This is not something to be toyed with. This is not something to play with. This is very serious, and this dictates everything. If someone's not able to articulate themselves or find some sort of common ground or have some sort of safe space, that safe space is not always home. That safe space is not always school. There needs to be another alternative space that guys can come to and feel safe and feel like that they're able to express themselves.
Growing up being a black young male in this neighborhood, it's not that different from like everyone else. It just depends on the path you take, as in game banging or like straight and narrow. Game banging. That's the main line I see. And selling drugs and like being like a hitman, I guess. Because it's always like watching your back out here to see what's going on and be aware of your surroundings, and like you have to know like when dangers are coming and like how to avoid it. School felt like um a pressure chamber, as in different kids there think that they like gangster, like they're about it. Cause I used to be like that, and like you strive to be perfect in school, but not everyone is, and you're pushed to exceed your limits, even though sometimes you need a break. If that makes sense. Oh, Barry Cooper is a fun, very straightforward individual. He has like this fun switch, right? It's and he has like the boss time switch. It's very cool to see him turn them on and off. I can tell you, right? But it's better if I just like invite you and show you how it is. But if I was to tell someone, I would say like it's a good space for young black men to open up and describe how they're feeling on a weekly basis. And there's different opportunities here. You learn more than anything else here, which is something I like. And it's just like if you needed some place to like escape what you're going through, you this is the place. And we learn about life decisions that can help us in the case we were in like in danger, or like we needed or like it depends on situations, but you learned mainly about everything here based on Cooper's experience, based on everyone else's experience. It's all relatable in some sort of way.
So like growing up in my community is like I wouldn't clearly say it's bad or good. It's like everything has ups and downs and stuff. But most of the times, like growing like around my community, like you have to watch your back constantly, like just to keep yourself safe from others because mostly around the areas where we grew up in, there's mostly gang activities. So we have to at least watch our backs to make sure we get from point A to point B safe. So that's pretty much it. Like growing up. Most schools like program to like okay they're just gonna go to their job, teach their curricula, and just like have a paycheck and go home. While some teachers would actually like to go deep into the kids' lives to see like if they're aware of certain stuff, how they feel, how currently their mental state is, and if they can like open up like Barry's program, like you have a space where you can open up to others and talk about it, and like probably like let that negative energy out of the area, so you can probably feel better as a person. But most schools, I don't think most schools like offer that. And like most of the times, like I'm a person that doesn't like to open up as much, but his programs allow me to slowly open up to others and talk about my situation. It's like as me as a person, I would like to grow more and to learn about others' feelings. So I could work on it to like make sure that we're sharing the same information about what's going on around us, so we can try to help each other out and stuff. Mostly like to share knowledge with them, like to help them understand like it help them understand like not everything like you have to keep to yourself. It's okay to open up sometimes and talk about a situation, and maybe that like talking about it might help you feel like it would ease that pain or ease the negativity around you.
Barry is he cares. That's one thing you nobody can deny that like interacts with him. He definitely cares. He's a funny guy. We have like a lot of memories, like a lot of trips and things like that we've done. Like, the group of course. Very genuine. I feel like he's never forced a face, or he's always been like it's always been from the heart, if you like, that it's time to like it's time for everybody to care. I feel like everyone says that they care, like they say they care, excuse me, but they don't always like show the necessary actions, if you know what I mean. So I feel like Barry's someone who says he cares, but he follows up with the actions of like what he says. So I feel like the world needs to follow through, basically. This is an opportunity to have young black men who are, everyone knows, young black men aren't always looked at in the most ideal ways. But it's like, if you say you care, why not try and help someone who's really caring and taking care of young black men and trying to spread and expand and do different things in different communities, Yeah.
I used to act up. I'm not gonna lie, a lot. Uh, my highest of my highest is like just being me, just rapping and stuff like that. Just unapologetically embodying who I am. And my lowest lows is getting emotional a lot, like stuff like what I just spoke about my childhood. Like sometimes that will come up, I'll start raging and stuff like that. As far as finding that emotional support, I really had to do that on my own because I never had no father to like show me that, and like that the system is good at doing that, splitting up families and stuff like that. That social conditioning that was put on, like the African American race is like detrimental, and I say that because we was portrayed as thugs and stuff like that, and we got to be tough and stuff like that. So with that being said, a lot of the people who I went to, they portray this tough energy, or like this fathering energy. Speaking of highs and lows, something that I had a lot as a child, because things is things was never balanced. Like it was always one or the other, which is why I had a lot of highs and lows, and you know what I mean, especially things in my childhood. But Barry, he was definitely there. He was definitely there in like a lot of my lowest times, and he would be encouraging me to reach my highest highs, and he would be there to appreciate and see my highest highs, and like that. Like I told you how I lacked emotional support. Barry provided that. He was proud of me whenever I achieved like something like as small as grades, when I achieved something as small as just paying attention in class. You know what I mean? Like going to class on time. So that made me good. That made me feel good. It was like a little rewarding system. So that encouraged me to do better. So that was the starting relationship of me and Barry. He noticed that I was at the lowest lows. He knew about my background, and then he looked at me and he said, "You know what? I can invest in him." So yeah, that's how it started off. Uh, I would describe it as this is the way that life should be. That's it. There's not more, nothing less to it. This is the way that life should be. Sometimes, it's so challenging dealing with the problems that you have. You almost feel like breaking. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when I feel like breaking, I came to this program, and like I would like decide like to pick a song, and it would help me get back on my path. It would help me gain hope again. It helped me feel like not all hope is lost. It helped me feel comfortable. It helped me feel like, it got open and loving arms. Like, you know what I mean? It's other people dealing with the same thing as me. You know what I mean? Like, it's no rush, of, overcoming your problems and stuff like that. So it definitely, it's changing my life again. I really I gotta admit that, man. For real. I would recommend this program to somebody because like it would change the whole way you think. Like, if you feel like you gotta go rob and steal to go, get the new Jordans and stuff like that. If you just listening to songs, just listen to it, or just, doing things that don't align with your path. Like you take this, if you follow through with this program, it's gonna change everything that you're currently dealing with. It's gonna help you. I'm gonna say that it's gonna help you a whole lot. Like at this place, I feel like emotional, like openness is a normal here. It's a common, and this is how it should be in humans, because this is a lot of ways that you see people lead to addictions on the streets, people lead to violence, people lead to going out and doing things that they're not supposed to. You know, it's emotion, and not only that, but this whole space got something to do with perspective, because Barry, you know, he's changing the way he structured the program. He changing a whole lot of minds and perspective, and he opening a lot of new, you know, pathways to thinking. Like, to sum it up, this is definitely something that everyone needs. Like, you know, they need the growth, they need the perspective, they need to know about their emotions, they need to, you know, be able to break stuff down and be able to maneuver through society with, you know, an elevated personality and perspective and things like that, you know. So this is why I said I would describe this program as the way life should be. So yeah, powerful, man. Bringing it together. I love this program.